Welcome and welcome back to Secret Frequencies. Happy Halloween, happy Samhain. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to talk about Ouija boards because there's a huge kind of spooky belief system around these boards, so I wanted to talk about them for Halloween or Samhain. Okay, so here we have on a Ouija board. So there's a lot of information about the history of these boards, when they were first made, how their name came about. Some people believe that the board chose the name when someone used the planchette. So Ouija board planchette, in case you didn't know. But some people also believe that a Ouija board is like a combination of yes in French and German. And some people believe it means good luck. So there's a lot of different beliefs around the name and how that came about. But let's talk about why now these boards are so spooky and people are scared of them, okay? Because this board was actually given to me by one of my good friends and clients, Sarah. So shout out to Sarah. Yes, so she had this board and then her friends were saying to her that it is like kind of evil and she shouldn't have that energy in her home, and so she got a little bit worried about it. So we did a swap and I think I gave her like a session or a spell or something in return for this Ouija board. So first, what I wanted to discuss is this thing called an egregore or an egregore, depending on perhaps where you're from. I think there's different pronunciations for this word. But basically what it means and what it is it is an entity, a kind of like a non-physical entity that is created by a group of people when they put their energy and their beliefs into this specific thing and they kind of manifest it in a way, and it becomes this form. So like fourth forms, it becomes this mass form when so many people put their energy into it, put their beliefs into it, and that is basically an egregore or an egregore. So that is kind of what has happened with the Ouija board, because it is just a divination tool, okay? So why is it? You must think about it. We have people who are very spiritual, we have tarot cards, we have pendulums, we have all of these forms of divination that we're happy with, we're happy to use. We believe that our guides will come through. We connect with our guides using our tarot or pendulum or something like this, okay? Like a accepted form of divination, not a Ouija board. So we have these kind of accepted forms of divination that we think are okay to use. But we've all put this form into this board, telling ourselves and telling our civilization that only negative entities will come through this board, okay? And then basically we have manifested that. So it's much more difficult to connect with your guides through a Ouija board unless you detach yourself and protect yourself from this mass thought form that Ouija boards are evil. And I will show, oh my words, and I will show a video of an angelic Ouija board as well that I saw. Actually, I didn't buy it because I knew I had this one from Sarah, and I actually have not used it yet, but I I'm very protected, highly protected. I do spiritual work every day. I have cleansing baths every single bath, and I cleanse consistently between sessions and things like that. And I know that I could connect with a positive spirit through this board. I feel highly protected, and I do think that I could do it. I'm also not worried about a negative spirit coming through, because I deal with negative spirits all the time. I deal with clients' attachments, entities. I have removed 3 of my own entity attachments that I have had in the past. That you can read about on my website. I wrote 2 articles about entity attachments and my process, my journey of being able to remove them. So I am highly protected. So I feel positive and confident to use this board. Of course, if you don't, if you have that fear, if you're in that egregore, okay, you're in that mass thought form that these boards are negative. But why? It's just another form of divination. And I would love for it to become popularised again as a positive form of divination. If we all had angelic Ouija boards and we all contacted our angels through them. So I just thought that Halloween, Samhain would be a good time to discuss this and talk about this. I did say I would explain Ouija boards. I would explain why negative entities do tend to come through. That's not a lie. Negative entities do tend to come through these boards because of this thought form we have put out there, because of our beliefs, and because of the egregore, we can call it. And I did actually put a post up saying, should I use this Ouija board when I visit a haunted house? And many of you said yes. Now I'm really upset that we didn't get to book the haunted house around this time. Around Halloween time would have been amazing. We did not get to book it because it's so popular and we were late in booking it, okay? But we are going to do it, so do look out for that. Do stay tuned. We are going to do it. We're going to go to a haunted house and I will use the Ouija board and I will try to connect. As you guys know, I'm highly protected. I always have my angels and my guides and things around. So we will be fine, but it will be interesting. It will be interesting to see. I would love to see if a negative entity does come through. Am I really connected to this egregore? Or can I contact an angel or a positive spirit? Or someone who has passed over? In the first place, when these boards were first used for divination, they were mostly used to contact deceased loved ones. So they're not negative entities, are they? So I would love for us to put the positive energy back into these boards and use them in the way that I feel they were intended to be used, talking to our passed over loved ones, connecting with the spirits that we wish to connect with. But what I would say about them is, if you do have fear, if you do feel scared, if you do feel if you feel fear, if you do feel scared, do not use the Ouija board. Use a different form of divination. But you could perhaps try to change your outlook, change your energy towards this board. Try to disconnect from that negative thought form that we have all built. So look out for the haunted house video. That is still happening. I think it may be around March time, I think. We really need to book it. It's a haunted pub. And yeah, it looks really creepy and great, and there's been many ghost sightings and things like that, strange things happening. So I do look forward to using this there. I will stay highly protected, guys. So let me know your thoughts on the Ouija board. Do you believe that we could put positive energy into it and bring it in to our acceptable divination tools in the spiritual community? Or do you believe that we should leave it? We should just push it to the side, leave it in this negative egregore, and just use our other divination tools that we prefer. What do you feel? Can we bring positivity back to this board? And also stay tuned for the haunted house video. I will give updates on it. Love, light and blessings to each of you, and goodbye.